Góðan daginn og gleðileg jól. Hello and Merry Christmas. My name is Gunnhildur. I'm an Icelander living in Iceland, and this is my podcast vlog chat type of thing where I talk mainly about yarn, knitting and crochet. The snowstorms picked up again. Yay! Might have hit my neighbor just now. Call it the project pile. Because I have projects and they're on piles and I just keep adding to them. Didn't get any better during the Christmas season because of the hobby advent calendar. Yeah, talk mainly about yarn and all that stuff. Also quite a bit about the weather, because the weather is interesting, and right now I only see white. And because I live in Iceland, I do also chat a little bit about when we have activities going on in a geological sense. On that note, so last week I put my first channel thing update thing, because I almost said volcano, but it's not quite a volcano, it's an active area. I really don't know what the formal title is, but so eloquency. So the area that is currently active is on the Reykjanes Peninsula. That, you know, like I've said for the past, I think 3 years. Has it been that long? 2 years. Let's go with 2 years, because 3 years sounds quite dramatic. Has been very active, and it is notable because it was inactive for about 800-900 years. Trying to get my tablet to turn on, because I've been charging it and it just... My phone is easier. But yeah. Come on. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that one to be decent. Yeah, so the Reykjanes Peninsula is active. And that is notable for right now because there's a town called Gleðileg. Gleðileg was evacuated in November. So, thankfully, because last week an eruption began, the precious thing finally saw fit to just like kick off. And hold on. And the good thing is that, I mean, the first pictures were so nice and... Can I find them? Because the first pictures and videos were so dramatic. Just that 4 kilometers of just that open crack and that big wall of fire is just so cool. It is cool, and the good thing is, that no one was harmed. No one was in harm's way. Although, despite the best intentions of volunteer rescue workers and the police and everyone else to keep people out of the area, wouldn't you know it, as soon as the eruption begins, a group of tourists, I believe, travelers, that's what I heard. I didn't hear about any Icelanders because everyone is always very clear. Was it my dumb cousin, or was it a thrill-seeking tourist? And yeah, so they were tourists right by the area, way too close for comfort, straight away. So, but yeah, it was over, I believe, on Thursday. I really want to say Thursday. The lava did not flow towards Gleðileg. Gleðileg was kept evacuated during this. And actually they got a little Christmas present, because the people who live there were allowed to go home for the holidays, and it was just so nice. But yeah, so for anyone wondering, I am far removed from the active area. The difference, direct line. Well, I would need to find a proper map of Iceland, but I'm going to show you first off. So here is the tippity toe of the peninsula. And this is the affected area. It's a little hard. So I found these press-on nails, and I really like them, but they are so long that just trying to use them is just like very strange. Is there no? Oh, come on. I thought there was prettier. Found some pictures from one of the news sources. So yeah, it was. I mean, it started with a 4-kilometer long, like, crack, which looked really cool on the news because, of course, there were extra news about it. It quickly, like, centered around, like, the center and away from the town of Gleðileg, which was the thing that we were really hoping for. So we all got our Christmas wishes, and it only lasted like 2 or 3 days. So that was honestly the best case scenario in a difficult situation, because having to evacuate a town, it's not something that happens like at all. I'm trying to think. So when the avalanche fell in Seyðisfjörður, like, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago? Good lord, it's been a while. How time passes. 3 or 4 years even. So they evacuated a part of the town, which is, you know, understandable. There was an avalanche that fell on the town. And with Súlavik did not evacuate except for the affected houses. I think this is the first time that we've had to evacuate a town, and that's because we didn't know anything about what was going to happen, and it's better to be safe than sorry. There you go. So here's a nice little map of Iceland. It is a fairly big place. Like, here is Reykjavik, our capital, and it takes a little bit of an area. Reykjavik is over here. Keflavik, that's where my oldest sister lives. And the difference here is a bit big. Like driving to Keflavik, where the international airport is, and from Reykjavik to Keflavik, that's way over an hour. Okay. And I am on the absolutely other side of the country. I'm in here, in the eastern part. Egilsstaðir, that's where the airport is. I'm flying from Egilsstaðir to Reykjavik. When you got good winds with you, that takes about 45 minutes. But if you got like the wind against you, that takes about an hour. So Iceland, not small. So for anyone wondering, here's where I am. And here's where the eruption area is. And this entire area here is the awakened, the awakened monster. The monster is awake. And honestly, I think that's pretty much the best way of explaining it. So, yeah. But yeah, currently, still, I can see the building next door, so not as bad. Okay, so I also, apart from chatting about my country, I did want to show you the books that I got. So from my brother, I got these two huge compilations. Like, I think this one's thicker. Oh god, I'm trying to do this with fake nails. I'm trying not to hurt myself. Heavy. These are a compilation of the Icelandic sagas. I have never, apart from when I was going to school and we were learning like the basic ones like Gunnar Hlíðanda and Brennhildur Saga. What was the one that they, like, every single teacher loved teaching it because everyone knew that one. Grettis Saga. Yeah, that one. So Grettis Saga got tedious because we did that the last winter at Grunnskóli, or the children's level, and again first year at Menntaskóli, or what's the equivalent in English? High school, college kind of levels. Iffy. But yeah, the sagas. If anyone knows anything about Iceland, they are probably gonna mention the sagas. Mention Brennhildur Saga. That's the one I literally open up every single time I open this book. So he got these second hand, which makes it all the better. And the previous owner has treated them, these books, absolutely reverently. Like, they are in perfect condition. So now I finally have grown-up editions of the sagas. I'm finally an adult. And then the other book that I got from my mother is Lene Holm's newest book. I cannot remember whether she's Norwegian or Danish, but she is a fantastic designer. I say I'm probably the most basic one, but like, her designs are, they are lovely. They aren't terribly difficult, or rather, they can go from fairly easy to pretty difficult, depending on your level. And I just happen to really like her designs, like a lot of other people. And like this has, like, I think you call it pearl or mussets. You call it mussets and cables. And I have, this is either my third or fourth book by Lene Holm. And although I haven't been the most diligent of using the patterns, the books themselves are just a delight. And I do already have like a couple of things that I would like to make from this book. We'll see. Excuse me. Whew. So we just had my family's traditional dessert on Christmas Day, and that is fresh fruits and whipped cream. So you got like mandariner, or I think you would call them clementines, or zestsumas. Got those, and you got oranges, you got apples, preferably like red delicious, not mealy ones. You would like some with like good flesh. Not too sweet, but not, not mealy and not too sweet. You got the apples, you got pears, and you got bananas. You just cut them down to suitable pieces, and with whipped cream, absolutely fine. And originally, this originated from poorer times, when people, at least in certain areas of Iceland, didn't get that many fresh fruits. They were fresh fruits for Christmas. and that would be the apples and oranges to begin with. And because there weren't that many that would go around, like we are talking a handful of apples and handful of oranges for an entire household. So for, I don't know how many people, but for quite a few, in order to make sure that everyone would get their share, they would take the apples and oranges, cut them up, and serve them with cream. And that's something that just, develops. So nowadays, like in my household, there's apples and oranges with the bananas, the clementines or mandarins, and the pears. Oh, I also think they have. Anyway, so that is something that is just a nice, fresh, seasonal dessert. Don't know how seasonal bananas are, but and then of course there's the last bags from the hobby advent calendar, the organizers. I really think that I like the one from the knitters, because I don't dislike silver, but I'm not a sparkly silver type of person. Personally, I rather like this one a little better, with this like subtle purpley pinkish type of color. Well, you know my neighbor else at home, because he keeps going up and down and up and down. And then, last bag. And what I've been thinking, I have not finished the blanket. Probably not going to do that with these nails. So it's still an ongoing project. But what I'm thinking is that I'm going to be taking, keep making myself this, the Honey Bunny Shine, put it in my other bag, my other project bag, and have this with me for the last knit night of the year. So there's going to be one on Thursday, but only like 2 hours. Usually we have our knit night meeting from 5 to 8 in the evening, but next Thursday they're going to close at 6, so we're going to meet up at around 4 and just have like 2 nice hours together. And I think I'm going to bring the Honey Bunny and get started on the crochet project bag, because I think I still haven't quite had a look at the pattern. I've downloaded both the knitters and crocheters, but I think that the crochet project bag is probably not going to be all that complicated. Probably going to be a fairly quick work as well, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm going to bring that with me on Thursday. And honestly, I really, really want to get going with the other ones, because I would like to do the knitters project bag and all the others. All the other things that I want to do. I always wanted to do so many things. But yeah, so that is pretty much my Christmas. I've been reading E.T.A. Hoffmann's The Nutcracker, with illustrations by Zana. How do you pronounce it? Hanukkah. I've never learned Finnish pronunciation, but I'm gonna say Hanukkah. And I just found out, because I was idle, so I started checking out the back. I got this, I believe, from Waterstones. So I found about the 2 short paragraphs. One about the original author, who was German, whose name was Ernst Theodor Amadeus Hoffmann. Talk about a mouthful. And then I read about Hanukkah, who I, judging by her name, had realized that she was Finnish, but she's been working as a designer, a printmaker and illustrator based in Brighton. But she is also a designer for the Finnish textile brand Merry Winter. So Yeah, I am not big on brands, but I do know about Marimekko because it's been insanely popular for the past years in Iceland, and I guess in other places as well, because people have been enamored with the designs. So, second to last podcast of the year. I will be back next Sunday, on the last day of the year, to say goodbye to the year, and I don't know, figure out what I'll chat about then. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. And because of the Christmas traditions here in Iceland, I won't be at work until Wednesday. That was a raven. Huh. Yeah, so I won't be at work until Wednesday because Advent Day is the biggest day. That's when we eat our nice food and open up the presents in the evening. Christmas Day today is a day off. It's a holiday. So I've been relaxing. And tomorrow, the second day of Christmas, is also a holiday and a day off. And fortunately, I work for a company that, honors that. So I am very grateful to have these days off. Like, they're off. As a side note, I might actually take a nap. I was debating whether I should tell you about this, but I'm like, you know what? It's funny. So, I inherited from a very lovely old lady who has sadly passed away years ago. But she gifted me her, what you call it in English? Sparisett. Her basher bedding. For the duvet, for the pillow. So I have no idea how old that bedding is. It is heaven to sleep with. It is so soft, and it's just like I put it around my duvet, and it's just like getting a nice warm hug. And I keep the tradition because I only ever put it around put it on my bed around Christmas time and for the last days of the year. And I always sleep so well when I have them. So that's one of the reasons that I really look forward to the holidays, is because then I get to put my bedding, my fancy bedding, my good bedding. And because I only use them, I follow her tradition of only use them once a year, meaning that if I take good care of them, they're gonna last me a long time. So I want to throw that in because I am the type of person who has fancy bedding. Like the nicer set of bedding that I inherited from such a lovely woman. And I'm not gonna lie, every time around this time of year, I always think very warmly to her for giving me that bedding because it's the best. It's the best. So yeah, that is enough for me this weekend on a Monday. Go figure. And I will do my best to be back next Sunday and share with you, I don't know, like whatever comes up, how the projects are going, and maybe what I might be thinking about for the next year. Like, am I actually gonna finish some of the mountain of projects that I already have? We'll see. But yeah, thank you for sticking with me this video thingy, and I really hope that you have a very Merry Christmas and Gleðileg Jól, Happy Yule, Festivus, Hanukkah. I have no idea how you, like, do you say Happy Hanukkah? Festive Festivus? I don't know. Hanukkah, Jól, Gleðileg Jól. And yeah, I think that's about it. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next weekend. Okay? Bless, bless.